Unfortunately, spending their days on the links or knocking back a few electric lemonades on the front porch is not the retirement reality for a lot of LGBTQ plus Americans.
With the growing retirement crisis hurting marginalized communities more, many must still work in retirement. What can you do if this is you?
Well, you can listen to Queer Money or watch Queer Money, episode number 526, because today we're sharing the leading retirement side gigs to help bridge the gap between Social Security and your cost of living.
Now on with the show. The mission of Queer Money is to financially empower the LGBTQ plus community. Join us in thanking Capital One for supporting that mission. Welcome back, folks. So back on episode 504 of the Queer Money podcast, when we were talking with Mark Goldstein about where gays retire, someone left a comment when we made the suggestion that some individuals in retirement may have to have a side gig or work a part-time job. They commented that a Social Security starts to deduct or reduces your benefits when you are earning money after you've already started taking your Social Security benefits, which is partially true. And I responded on that particular commenter to give them some additional information. But we wanted to share that information with all of you so you are fully aware of what happens when you are earning money from a side gig or a job in retirement. So if someone is earning money in retirement, there are some rules that Social Security has around what you can earn before they start the reduction. In 2024, you can earn up to $22,320 before Social Security will actually start to reduce the benefits you get on a monthly basis. If you haven't reached full retirement age, which is 67 for many of us, then if you are already taking your benefits and you earn over $22,320, Social Security will reduce your benefits by $1 for every $2 over that $22,320 amount. If you have reached full retirement age and you are taking your Social Security benefits, then that amount that is deducted actually drops. It drops to $1 for every $3 over that $22,320 amount. So, going to give you some examples here so you understand this even a little bit more. If you haven't reached full retirement age, you are taking your Social Security benefits and you earned $22,420, so $100 more than what you're allowed to earn before benefits start to get reduced. Social Security would reduce your benefits by $50 for the year. If you have reached full retirement age and you earn that same amount, $22,420, then you would have $33 deducted from your annual benefits because you have earned an extra $100. So this really allows for individuals to earn up to about $1,860 a month before any sort of deductions start to take place on your Social Security benefits.
So the only thing more complicated than toilet paper math is Social Security math.
You're right. Yeah, it is a little complicated, but the reality is that for many of us, earning an extra $1,860 in addition to our Social Security benefits, especially for individuals who are earning around the average, which is around $1,300 right now, that would more than double the amount of money you would have to be able to use in retirement. And many of those folks are desperately going to need that because they may not have a savings set aside for retirement, and they are only living on Social Security benefits, which may be the case for a lot of LGBTQ folks, especially those who are in lower income brackets.
Yeah, I think we need to acknowledge that it's just harder and harder to save for retirement than it was 30, 40 years ago. We don't have pensions that we can rely on. We've talked with Teresa Ghilarducci about how the new retirement structure is just not serving most Americans. And LGBTQ plus people tend to start preparing for retirement later than the general population anyway. So it adds an extra hurdle for us. So the idea that of working in retirement is a reality for a lot of LGBTQ plus people, if not more and more people in the general population. So that's why we're having this conversation.
And I think especially when we look at what has gone on with greedflation in the last couple of years, companies raising prices dramatically because they thought that they could, and now they're all pulling them back, it is likely that many of the prices that we see today will continue to either be the same or get higher as we age in retirement. So there's always that impact of inflation that happens every single year, almost every single year, unless we're in a deep recession. Then we will need to understand, or we will need to be able to increase our income during retirement.
Yeah, in our last study with the Motley Fool that we did in 2023, the leading concern for LGBTQ plus respondents was keeping up with the cost of living.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what this episode is hopefully going to help people tackle. So we're going to share the 10 leading side gigs for seniors.
All right.
We didn't use it in the title, but I like the alliteration there.
Yeah.
So the first side gig is pet sitting or dog walking. That was inspired by these two puppies sitting right here. So what is that exactly? So it's really a professional leash holder who gets paid to be dragged around the neighborhood by overly enthusiastic furry clients, just as David and I did earlier today. It's perfect for those who enjoy unexpected cardio workouts and don't mind carrying a little bit of bags of surprises occasionally, as David also did earlier today. Most dog walkers or pet sitters charge between $20 to $50 for a 30-minute walk. Check out Rover or Wag if this is a side gig that you think you'd like to start. We know several people in the personal finance space and the side gig space who are huge advocates of pet sitting and dog walking and do it and make really good money. So highly encourage you to consider that if you have a furry friend or you love furry friends.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to one of our biggest investments, and that is our homes. Being a house sitter.
Yeah.
When folks leave, especially when you think about snowbirds, individuals who may leave their home for weeks or months at a time. So when you're a house sitter, you're basically a professional couch tester and snack inspector who gets paid to live in someone else's house, and it ensures that their furniture is comfortable, that their Wi-Fi works flawlessly. You have the responsibility of doing things like watering their plants, feeding their pets if they have them, which additional charges there if you're both house sitting and pet sitting, and you're basically pretending to be a homeowner, to scare away individuals who may be trying to get in the home because they think it is vacant, whether those are burglars,
people from squatters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is perfect for those individuals who are somewhat mobile, maybe are free of their own living situation or accommodations. So you can, maybe if you have multiple roommates and you want to spend some time away from your roommates, this is a perfect opportunity for you to break away and be able to live in somebody else's house on your own. It also does, maybe for some of you, give the opportunity to upgrade your living conditions,
exactly.
right? Moving into or being in somebody else's house for a time period that may be slightly nicer than your current accommodations. Most house sitters in the U.S. make about $14 an hour. There are several websites that you can check out, housecarers.com and House Sitters America, if you want more information on getting paid to be a house sitter.
Exactly. And now remember that $14 per hour is the entire time that you're house sitting. So even while you're sleeping in bed, you are still kind of earning money. Another thing to check out is trustedhousesitters.com. You won't get paid if you create a profile and you decide to work with a client through trustedhousesitters.com. But that's a great way to be able to travel globally and not have to pay for where it is you're staying, because you'll be responsible for taking care of that house or pet sitting as well. And so that can increase your opportunity for more travel. So our third recommendation is something we've been talking a lot more about on our talks when we've gone around the country, is providing storage services. So how can you as an individual homeowner or a renter become a storage company? Well, a professional hoarder with a professional hoarder with a business plan who gets paid to turn their basement, attic, or garage into a Tetris-like maze for other people's junk. It's perfect for those who love playing hide and seek with their own stuff and have a secret talent for maximizing space while minimizing complaints from their spouse. The storage industry, get this, is a $40 billion a year industry, and you can tap into that. If you have an attic, a basement, a garage, any spare space, all you have to really do is create a profile on Facebook Marketplace, the popular neighborhood app, or even on Google Business. And then suddenly you have a business.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of people who are just looking for a little, sometimes it's temporary. They only need it for, maybe they're having some renovations done to the home and they need be able to put some of their stuff somewhere else for a couple of weeks. And we know that some people, it's going to be a lifelong thing where they're stored.
You'll never see
junk.
him again.
Right, exactly.
Capital One Auto Navigator does more than just auto financing. We're here to help you find a car you love, too. Shop millions of cars from thousands of dealers nationwide. Research your favorite makes and models. Explore dealers near you and more. All on Auto Navigator.
All right, our number 4 suggestion here is actually one that John and I have experienced and actually chatted with some folks about this, and that is doing rideshare or providing a car to drive people around. You're basically a professional backseat psychologist, right? You are the GPS magician who gets paid to drive strangers around town while listening to their life stories, questionable music choices,
True that.
and occasional karaoke sessions. It's also perfect for those who love meeting new people, providing unsolicited travel tips, and mastering the art of small talk. And sadly, in some situations, it's emergency car cleaning for those who maybe had a little too much to drink. Not a little too much,
Heard
maybe
some nightmares.
quite a bit too much. What's interesting is the average pay for an Uber or Lyft driver is about any in the United States is anywhere from about $15 to $25 an hour in most markets. So you can try things like Uber, ZipRecruiter, or Lyft. And to be honest, we like I said, we have talked to a number of individuals. This is exactly what they're doing. They're working anywhere from 2 to 6 hours a day just to make a little bit of extra money so that they can live the lifestyle that they want in retirement. We actually also spoke to someone who was near retirement but was doing Lyft so that he could send his daughter to college.
Yeah, exactly. Number 5 is becoming an online teacher. So that is a professional homework hero who specializes in explaining complex concepts through pixelated video calls, interrupting or interpreting emojis as serious academic questions, and pretending not to notice when students wear pajamas to class. It's perfect for those who enjoy sharing knowledge, troubleshooting tech issues, and developing a superhuman level of patience. An online English teacher through Cambly can earn anywhere from $10 to $12 an hour. We know of a couple of people who've actually done that. And if you have any specialty or a degree, consider getting your teaching certificate through a local community college, and you can all of a sudden charge more depending upon what your topic of choice.
Exactly. There are a lot of students around the globe who are looking for either English lessons, English as a second language, but there are also a ton of students in the United States who are looking to be tutored or getting some help from someone so that they can either pass a class, work on their college entrance exams, all of those kinds of things. There are a lot of opportunities there.
And going to college and getting a college degree on campus is becoming less and less viable and appealing to people. We've seen how enrollments are starting to drop and colleges and universities are closing down. I think more and more students are going to be looking for a particular class that they need, not going to get an entire degree, but saying, I need to have this particular class or this particular certificate. And if you can provide that for them, that's a great way for you to make some money.
Yeah, I would definitely think also individuals who are working in the tech space or what we're working in the tech space, and you have some great skills there, would be helpful to be able to provide those kinds of tutoring or education skills to individuals who need it. All right, coming in at number 6 is handyman services. Now, of course, this is one that is going to be specific to those who still have some agility. Maybe you've retired a little early and you're still wanting to make some money, and you are drawing on your Social Security. So this is definitely for somebody who's a little bit more mobile. It's someone who specializes in making things work with duct tape, mysterious boxes of tools, and a can-do-it attitude, right? They're known for their ability to fix leaky faucets, assemble furniture with confusing instructions, IKEA, and perform minor electrical work without becoming a human lightning rod. This is perfect for those who love the challenge of, it was working yesterday, and have the knack for turning an uh-oh into a ta-da. So there are also many services that you can sign up for to put yourself out there. One of the more popular ones is TaskRabbit. Individuals there say that they earn anywhere from about $15 to $75 an hour. You could also start your own business and advertise it locally. Oftentimes when you're advertising as a handyman, then you can charge a little bit more rather than going through services like TaskRabbit, but it does require you to basically set up your own business.
Yeah, which is exactly what our brother-in-law did after he retired. Now he's not collecting Social Security, but he's busy with work. Basically, if you just show up on time People will be will appreciate that, and you'll get a lot of referrals for that. And then doing a good job on top of that is just ice cream on the cake.
Yeah, I would say if you are punctual, if you have somewhat of a good work ethic, and you actually know what the F you're doing, you have the opportunity to make some pretty good money as a handyman service.
Maybe that's a job you can think of someday.
Maybe.
Our seventh
Did you
recommendation.
say have a good work ethic?
Yep, that's what I said.
Okay, thank you.
Our number 7 recommendation that David almost tried to steal from me is becoming a fitness instructor or a personal trainer, which might be something that I decide to do someday when we retire. This is a motivational drill sergeant who specializes in shouting encouraging phrases, counting reps with dubious accuracy, and maintaining an impossibly high energy level. That all sounds like me, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
This is perfect for those who love turning groans into gains, enjoy wearing spandex in public, totally me, and believes that no pain, no gain is a lifestyle, not just a saying.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up that point about wearing spandex in public because, I think a lot of us are like, it's so passe, that's so gross. We were taking the dogs for a walk this week and we saw a guy running towards us, and that's all he was wearing was spandex in his running shoes. And this guy was
Spandex shorts.
he was probably 25 years old at most. So I don't know, maybe spandex is coming back.
Maybe I did notice how you said hi to him. So many local gyms and community centers offer personal training. So if you're looking to become a certified personal trainer, those are some resources for you. You can earn between $15 to $30 an hour if you're working at a local gym. But in some markets, you can actually earn exponentially more. So you could, again, create your own Google business or Facebook marketplace account to go ahead and get your business launched. And again, word of mouth will get you far.
All right. Our number 8 suggestion here is something if you really have a lot of knowledge, very detailed information around a specific industry or a specific service, become a consultant. These are individuals who are meeting marathoners who specialize in buzzwords, creating elaborate flowcharts, and convincing clients that synergy and leveraging core competencies will solve all their problems. This is perfect for those who enjoy living out of a suitcase, because oftentimes when you're a consultant, you're traveling to various companies, but it also allows you to turn common sense information that into billable hours and helping others when they have the question, have you considered a paradigm shift? This is actually a really good side gig for individuals who are retired professionals. And what's interesting is that consultants can earn anywhere between $30,000 and $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
So for some individuals, this may be one where they actually are able to replace completely their Social Security benefits. If you are especially skilled in a very specific high demand area, I would think some of the technology skills, some of the STEM areas. These are kind of what individuals in those fields probably would be able to do once they reach retirement age.
And to be fair, I mean, we know this isn't accessible to most people, but if it is accessible to you, this is a great opportunity to even delay taking Social Security. Because if you're earning $150,000 a year, for most locations, you don't need to start tapping Social Security, and then you can get larger payouts when you do decide to start withdrawing.
Yeah, and I would say it also is one where this is something where you could easily work for a relatively short period of time, say a couple of months, 3 months, and earn a significant amount of money, and then be able to take the rest of the year off. So you earn $30,000, $50,000 in a 3 to 6 month time frame. You've got the rest of the year where you don't necessarily need to be working at all.
Exactly. Number 9 here is becoming is start flipping products online. So this is a modern day treasure hunter and shipping expert who gets paid to turn other people's trash into internet gold. It specializes in spotting undervalued items at garbage sales or garage sales.
Garbage sales.
Thrift
Sometimes
stores,
they are.
garage sales, thrift stores, and grandma's attic, and then reselling them online for profit. We've talked about this several times on the show, particularly with Tom Brickman when he was on Queer Money Podcast, episode 303. It's perfect for those who enjoy the thrill of the hunt and have the knack for turning clutter into cash and don't mind being asked, you bought that. Why?
Exactly. You know, one of the interesting things that we've learned from Tom on this idea of flipping products is that we all know what happens with supply and demand, right? When the supply of something shrinks, the demand is really heavy, and oftentimes that means you can charge a lot more for the products if there's only a few of them. And so Tom has specialized in this, and knowing what individuals like, from anything from colognes to women's underwear and bras to a variety of other things. He understands that these are in short supply and is able to figure out that the people are willing to pay sometimes 10, 15, 20 times what he paid for that item because there are so few of them available.
Yeah. So if you pursue this as an option, as Tom has done, pick like I don't know, 3 to 5 products that you want to become experienced and knowledgeable about. Like, he knows so much about women's bras. I don't know. I mean, that more than any gay man I know. But he specializes in that. So he knows that when he sees something that's a steal or an opportunity, he'll buy that. And then he knows how much he can mark that up. And you can't become that proficient or that much of an expert in every product. So pick the products that whatever you have a natural affinity towards or understanding of, and leveraging into leaning into those, as opposed to trying to become, a master of all, because you won't.
Yeah, and as far as we know, Tom is not either a drag queen or a cross-dresser, so
No.
there's no reason for
He's
him.
never, I think he's very knowledgeable in women's bras.
Yeah, exactly. All right, our 10th and final suggestion here is a vending machine investor. So you are basically a snack sorcerer, a coin collector, and get paid for people who turn their spare change into seemingly endless supply of gag gifts, makeup, and candy bars. It was really interesting. When we were living in Las Vegas, we saw at several bars in several locations where there were vending machines that were full of
all sorts of stuff.
It was like there were prize packages, there were mystery items, there were one of them, it was so funny, we were in one of the bars and it had a deck of cards from Colt,
the porn company.
Colt magazine. Porn company had made a deck of cards, I guess back in the 80s or 90s or something like that.
Or they turned the calendar into the deck of cards.
Yeah, and they had that deck of cards in there. We thought it was kind of funny because this place wasn't necessarily known as a gay bar, but it was kind of funny that here in this vending machine was a pack of Colt porn cards.
And every time we were at that bar, there were either people looking in there, just perusing, or buying stuff. And I know that there was one time that I walked out of the bathroom because it was between the men's and women's bathroom. I walked out and I was like, David's sitting out front, and I thought it'd be really funny to buy one of these gag gifts just to have fun, because they're all like, I don't know, just a few bucks, and they're like, you would never, they're garbage. You're never going to use them anywhere. But they're just, when you're in the bar environment and you're having a good time, like having this random gag gift or crazy purchase, just adds to the environment and the fun.
Although I will say, there were women's underwear in some of those, and sometimes women have been known to lose their underwear in bars.
There were a lot of panties on the streets in Vegas when we lived there, so I guess they forgot to bring a backup supply, so you can just buy them at the bar.
Right. So being a vending machine investor is basically perfect for those who love passive income, have a sweet tooth for financial success, and don't mind being asked if you have any spare change. What is so interesting? We had Lakenia Francis on episode 257 of the Queer Money Podcast, and Lakenia was sharing with us all of the different types of vending machines, businesses that people have. It's not just candy and soda machines. There are so many. There were beauty products. There were.
She specialized in beauty products.
Yeah,
and was making bank.
Right. That we knew that she did talk to us about, or shared with us, one individual who set up a beauty product vending machine and was making $1,000
in
a
mall.
week in profit. $1,000 a week in profit every week. And it was just like, holy crap, that's.
And that vending machine was in a mall where you're, where's that? What's that women's underwear store? Lady Secret, Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret.
And
Pink.
All the women's stores are already in this mall, but her vending machine was still earning thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah, exactly. So again, this is something where you could earn anywhere from about $75 to maybe even $1,000 a week. So this potentially could be a great way for you to make some money with not a huge amount of effort.
Exactly. So these are just 10 suggestions that we have. Of course, there are dozens of others that are available to most any of us. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section here on YouTube, on Spotify, TikTok, or wherever you follow us on social media. And now stay tuned for your Queer Money Takeaway. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. Get your Queer Money takeaway and resources mentioned in this episode from this week's newsletter.
Then join us this Thursday when we share the most affordable LGBTQ plus friendly college towns per several listener requests. And then next Tuesday when we talk with Kenneth Davis, aka the Trans Capitalist, about the economic state of the trans community today. Thank you and have an amazing week.